Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. 3 in custody following latest Hopewell killing. The police have revealed that 3 men are now in custody following the shooting death of Corner Grizzly, an elderly construction worker in the Crabwood Lane section of Hopewell, Hanover on Friday. Grizzly, a 62-year-old resident from the Montpelier section of the parish, was working on a construction site. When armed men approached and shot him, he later died. Following a tour of Crabwood Lane on Saturday, Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of Area 1 Clifford Chambers provided an update to the media. There are 2 persons who have been arrested and charged and are in custody. We are hoping that we'll be able to keep them from being offered bail because of the nature and gravity of the continuity of investigation and leads which have been provided given other crimes they are involved in, he stated. There is another who is also in custody pending interrogation and further discussions as it relates to the potential of his involvement in the other crimes, he also divulged. According to ACP, the spate of murders in Hopewell could be attributed to recent gang activities that has its origin in illicit lottery scamming. We have 2 gangs, which I don't want to name, but as a result of the tension and the murders, and the reprisal and counter-reprisal, you do have what is now spilling over into some murders on the ground, unfortunately, he stated. However, he insisted that the police have been on top of the latest incidents. With regards to this one, we're safely saying that the police are confident that the issues will be brought to an end soon, given the persons who are in custody and known perpetrators who are involved in these gangs, he assured. Chambers also used the opportunity to provide details on the deceased, explaining that he too was part of a criminal network based on what the police intelligence has shown them. The man here is no angel. A gun was taken from him, the cops said. There were rounds that were found in his pocket when the forensic crime did their crime scene investigation, and he's the father of one of the persons who is presently in custody, he stated. 2 men killed in St. James gun attack. 2 men were shot to death by a gunman at a shop in Greenwood, St. James Saturday morning. The deceased have been identified as Marshall Hyatt, otherwise Colcosh 42, a shop operator from Greenwood, and a man known only as Little Man. It was reported that around 1 a.m., Marcel and Little Man were closing the shop when a man entered and ordered a drink. While Little Man was serving the customer the drink, he reportedly pulled a firearm. Police said the man opened gunfire, hitting Marshall in his upper body, right arm, and left feet. Little Man was shot in his head and upper body. Both men died on the spot. The customer, police said, made his escape in a waiting motor car. The scene was processed and 12 pence casings were found. The bodies were moved to the morgue pending a post-mortem examination. This is the 3rd double murder to rock St. James this week. Police have not yet established a motive for the killing. Motorcyclist dies after crashing into wall utility pole. A St. Anne motorcyclist died as a result of injuries sustained after crashing into a wall and a utility pole. He is Dwayne White, a painter of Hagley Park Road. Reports from the Hunts Bay Police are that about 1:20 p.m., White was traveling along a East Avenue when he lost control of his bike and crashed. The police were called to the scene. He was assisted to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Woman who set sleeping spouse on fire gets life sentence. Sarita Hudson Blair, the woman who dosed her spouse with gas and set him on fire resulting in his death, will have to serve an 18-year prison sentence for her crime. Hudson Blair was given the mandatory sentence of life in prison and ordered to serve 18 years before she is eligible for parole. The punishment is in line with a plea agreement her lawyer struck with prosecutors. The sentence was imposed by Justice Vaughn Simmet in the Home Circuit Court in downtown Kingston on Friday. Hudson Blair pleaded guilty to murder on February 9 for the gruesome death of her common-law partner, Kenton Brown, on May 27, 2017. Dressed in a black blouse and skirt, she sobbed in the prisoner's box as her attorney pleaded with Simmet for leniency and murder. Among the evidence, prosecutors Andrea Martin Swaby and Shanique Farquharson had lined up for Hudson Blair's murder trial, where a transcript of a deathbed interviewed Brown gave a police constable in which he detailed the late-night attack. "My uncle wake up to find myself in a fire with the woman stand up over me," he recounted to the constable hours after the May 23, 2017 attack inside the couple's St. Andrew home. The interview was cut short after Brown, father of 2 children aged 7 and 10, old or at the time, began shaking violently, the constable recounted. "Officer, take care of me two picking them, because them not have nobody," said the cop, recounting Brown's last words to him. Brown succumbed to his injuries 4 days later. Mount Salem murders linked to remnants of gangs, says Chang. Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang has revealed that recent shootings in the Mount Salem community, which have left 3 dead and 2 injured, can be linked to individuals who were once involved in gang activities. According to the minister, while the big gangs have been contained individuals are the ones who have recently been wreaking havoc. Chang was speaking with the media Saturday after touring Crawford Street and the main road in Mount Salem with members of the security forces. "In the Mount Salem era, we don't even have an identifiable big gang. It's more community-based and family-related. Everybody knows everybody, but the increased activity in scamming has generated a lot of financing, and of course, there are still guns available, and people are willing to use them," the minister explained. "There are still young men who are a part of that gang who are still off the face of it, and this is where the continued quest for violence continued." The flare-up in the crime has occurred despite the community being declared a zone of special operations Zozo, a tool employed since 2017. The Zozo, which was to have been too prolonged approach to fixing the problem with the community of criminals while providing social support for residents. Chang believes the initiative is still on track. "We have had less than 10 murders over the 7-year period, and this is the first one in about 8 months. What it reflects is the original concept is still there, that they will bring peace," he asserted. This view was also shared by Assistant Commissioner of Police for Year 1 Clifford Chambers, who was on the tour. "From a policing standpoint, it is clear that the zone of special operations is working. When you look at the statistical figure of murders, shootings and major crimes, it is clear that it is working," Chambers insisted. British residents charged in Jamaica $55 million drug bust at St. James Airport. Police have now charged 3 British residents in connection with the seizure of cocaine in 2 separate incidents at the Sangster International Airport in Montego Bay, St. James last Saturday. The drugs have a combined weight of 10 kilograms, police are reporting. Those charged are Lauren Anthony Barkley, 59, a retired staff nurse from West Bromwich, Birmingham; Luke Bradley, 37, a construction director from Erlington, also in Birmingham; and Bertland James Huggies, 47, also from Elderston, all in the UK. Police said Barkley and Bradley are charged with possession, dealing and attempting to export, and conspiracy to export cocaine. Huggies have been charged jointly with Bradley for conspiracy to export cocaine. The men are scheduled to appear before the St. James Parish Court on Wednesday, May 17, 2023. Police had reported that Barkley and Bradley were both arrested after they were intercepted at the airport while attempting to board separate flights to Birmingham, England, with cocaine concealed in their luggage. The 10 kilograms of cocaine seized from the men in both incidents attract a street value of approximately £300,000, equivalent to Jamaican $55 million, the police stated. Police stated following Bradley's arrest, further investigations by narcotics detectives led to the detention of Huggies in St. Anne. On Wednesday, May 10, 2023, all 3 men were interviewed in the presence of their attorneys and subsequently charged. 3 firearms seized in St. Elizabeth, no arrest, says police. Police are reporting that 3 illegal firearms and ammunition were seized following operations in 2 St. Elizabeth communities on Friday night. Head of the St. Elizabeth Police Superintendent Kenneth Chin told reporters that the raids were conducted in Luana and Spring Park shortly before midnight. While no one was apprehended during the seizures, Superintendent says he expects that arrests will be made soon based on the leads they have. During the operation, an unfinished concrete structure was searched and a bag containing 2 pistols, 1 revolver, 2 magazines, and 13 rounds of assorted ammunition were seized. No one was taken into custody in connection with this find. However, we are following strong leads, and arrests are expected to be made, he said. "I thank my team, who are making the best use of limited resources in maintaining the operational outputs, which are reaping success. The parish is safer because of your effective police presence. I must also highlight the police-citizens relationship in the parish, which has resulted in several successes, including a 160% increase in the number of illegal firearms taken out of the hands of criminals when compared to last year," he added. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and